Few farmers can remember a harvest as dry and dusty as this. It's an anxious time, not just because harvesting on flinty soil can bring the risk of sparks and fire. This drought is already impacting yields of certain crops and adding extra costs to feeding livestock.
So after months of dry weather and now the really hot temperatures, you can see the grass is brown. There's no food left out for the animals in the field, so we're having to feed next winter's food already.
But many farmers are now prevented from accessing the water they desperately need now that drought has been declared in many regions. Given the future being mapped out for us by climate change, it's time for action, they argue.
We have enough water in this country. It's normally in the west and in the winter, and we need investment in infrastructure to have it in the right place at the right time so there's enough water for people, food and the environment. This will not be the last drought. The government need to address this. They are the ones who have the overall control. The Environment Agency clearly have a major role to play, but government need to lead.
Today, the Labour Party have called for an urgent COBRA meeting in response to the crisis and called for the publication of the National Resilience Strategy almost a year after the consultation closed. It's hard to overestimate the impact this drought could have if it does drive up food prices at a time of high inflation and a cost of living crisis. But without enough water to go around, prioritising it for agriculture comes at a direct cost to our environment. And that isn't the only concern. This weekend's high temperatures have brought more fires. This is Bagshot in Surrey. And it's emerged that despite widespread warnings about their use, this fire in Studland, Dorset yesterday was caused by a barbecue, according to the local fire service.
I don't think I've ever seen the conditions be so perfect for wildfires that they are at the moment. We've had virtually no rain for as long as I can remember. The temperatures are very high, humidity is quite low, and we're seeing quite high wind speeds. So as soon as the fire starts, it will quickly spread. And often it takes firefighters 5-10 minutes before they'll arrive at the scene of the fire. So the fire will have spread quite a long way before we get there.
Next week's rain should rapidly reduce fire risk, but the challenge of making Britain more resilient to heatwaves and drought will take more than just a change in the weather. Tom Clark, Sky News.